Hello friends, today we will discuss a very interesting topic, inflorescence. What we have to study: definition of inflorescence, parts of inflorescence, types of inflorescence, that is racemodes, cymodes and special types of inflorescences, finally significance of inflorescences. So let us see what is in an inflorescence. So, after development of vegetative organs of the plant, it becomes mature and the reproductive organs appears on the plant body. During the reproductive phase, flower buds, that is reproductive parts of the plant, are formed in either apical or axillary position. The reproductive shoot or axis bears a variable number of flowers, which is called as inflorescence. So as far as definition is concerned, inflorescence can be defined as the natural arrangement of flowers or flowers on the axis of plant is called as inflorescence. In other words, inflorescence is a specialized branch which bears flower or cluster of flowers is known as inflorescence. So this is about the definition of inflorescence. The next part, parts of inflorescence. Inflorescence consists main four parts, that is pedicel, peduncle, bracts and rachis. So first part, peduncle. Peduncle is nothing but the main axis of inflorescence on which the flowers are developed. It is also called as rachis. Usually peduncle is elongated, but sometimes it is flattened, fleshy, cup-like structure called receptacle. For example, sunflower. The second part is pedicel. So pedicel is the stalk of flower. With the help of that, the flowers are attached on the peduncle axis. The flowers with pedicel are called as a pedicellate flowers, while the flowers without pedicel or stalk is called as sessile flowers. So this is second part, that is pedicel. Then third, bracts. Bracts are special leaves or leaf-like structure at whose axis the flowers are born. Bracts may be green, leafy or colored and attractive. Example, bougainvillea. If the bracts are very small as compared to the size of flowers, then it is termed as a bracteoles. While sometimes the bracts are very large and covers the entire inflorescence, such bracts are known as spathe. Example, coconut, arum, etc. The bracts is not always present in the inflorescence. If it is present, the flowers are described as bracteate flowers, while if it is absent, the flowers are described as ebracteate flowers. Sometimes inflorescence is surrounded by a ring of many bracts, which are collectively known as involucral bracts. Example, sunflower. Next part, rachis. The primary axis of an elongated inflorescence is known as rachis. So these are the parts of inflorescence. Next, types of inflorescences or classification of inflorescences. Depending upon the mode of arrangement of flowers, nature of peduncle, the inflorescences are of main following three types. First, racemose inflorescence, second, cymose inflorescence, and third, special type of inflorescences. Let us see one by one. First, racemose inflorescence. It is also called as indeterminate type of inflorescence or indefinite type of inflorescence, because in this type the main axis or peduncle of inflorescence grows indefinitely. It never terminates into a flower but continue to grow and gives rise to flowers laterally in acropetal succession. So what is meant by acropetal succession? That is, oldest flowers are at the base and younger flowers at the top of the peduncle axis. Example, brassica, crotalaria, etc. Sometimes the peduncle, instead of developing into the long or elongated axis, becomes condensed to form a flat or a roundy structure called receptacle. On a receptacle, the order of development of flowers is centripetal. So what is meant by centripetal? That is, oldest flowers are at the periphery and younger flowers towards the center. The example, sunflower, tridex, etc. This is the racemose type of inflorescence. The second type, cymose inflorescence. It is also called as definite or determinate type of inflorescence, because in this inflorescence main axis or peduncle terminates into flower or flowers, so that the growth of the peduncle or main axis is checked or stopped by the flowers. The lateral buds or branches are present below the terminal flower, continue to grow. Thus, in a cymose inflorescence, flowers develop in a basipetal succession. That is, the terminal flowers is the oldest and lateral flowers are younger ones. In other words, the order of development of flower is from apex to base. The order of opening of flower is centrifugal. That is, the oldest flower at the center, which opens first, and youngest flower at the periphery, which opens later on. Example, jasmine, bougainvillea, etc. This is the second type. Then third type is a spatial type of inflorescence, when this inflorescence do not show any racemose or cymose type of characters. Such inflorescences are considered as a spatial type of inflorescences. There are three spatial type of inflorescences: one, hypanthodium; second, verticillaster; and third, cyathium type of inflorescence. Thus, spatial type of inflorescences are due to the modification and variation in opening of flower. So these are the types of inflorescences. Then last part, significance of inflorescences, how it is useful for the plant. First significance, inflorescence form a big attractive structure. Usually many flowers are grouped together to attract the pollinating agents like insects. Second significance, many flowers are pollinated together in a single visit by the pollinating agents like insects. Third significance, it is in an inflorescence usually the younger flowers take more time to open than the older ones, so it makes the flowering period longer and provides the better opportunities for cross-pollination, fertilization, and seed production. The fourth significance is the larger flowering period also helps to avoid sudden changes of all flowers due to the natural calamities like frost, rainfall, etc. Fifth significance, the a presence of a special type any type of inflorescence as an taxonomic significance. Example, family Labiatae is characterized by the presence of verticil aster, and umbelliferae is characterized by the presence of umbel type of inflorescence, while mimosae and moraceae are characterized by the presence of capitate and hypanthodium type of inflorescence respectively. Thus, this is about the inflorescence. Thank you.
अहो 1 मिनिट कमी पडलं.